If you're a man who's doing everything you're supposed to do, you're working hard, you're showing up, you're staying disciplined, you're keeping it all together, but it still feels like it's not enough and it's just taking up way too much brain space, this video's for you. And before you click away thinking this is just another video about motivation or stress management or mindset, it's not. This is something most high-functioning men experience but rarely name. You see, high-functioning men don't usually fall apart in obvious ways. They don't collapse, they don't quit, they don't spiral publicly. They get quieter, more internal, more serious. They start caring more without saying much about it. And from the outside, life looks fine, maybe even successful. But inside, your mind doesn't shut off. Sound familiar? You see, scenarios keep running in your head. Conversations replay, decisions stack up. And the strange part is, you're still functioning. You're still producing. You're still dependable. Which, in an odd way, makes it harder to admit something is wrong. So most men tell themselves some version of this. I just need to be more disciplined. Come on, I just need to lock in, get it together. Or I need to stop thinking about it and just handle it. And you know what? That makes sense. Because discipline has worked before. Discipline built your career. Discipline kept your life from falling apart. Discipline helped you survive seasons that would have just crushed other people. So when pressure increases, discipline feels like the obvious answer. And for a while, it works. Well, until it doesn't. What most men don't realize is that discipline has a limit. Discipline works best when mental bandwidth is clear, but it breaks down when mental bandwidth is overloaded. When your mind is constantly carrying things like unresolved decisions, responsibility for other people's outcomes, emotional weight you never offloaded, and just sustained pressure without real release. Discipline stops being a tool and starts becoming a force that pushes you deeper and deeper into the noise. You're doing more, but thinking less clearly. Not because you're weak, but because no system functions when it's never allowed to reset. This is where men start turning the pressure inward. They start saying things like, why can't I handle this? Come on, other people manage more than this. Or I should be able to push through, right? This isn't a character issue. It's not a motivation issue. It's not even a toughness issue. It's a capacity issue. You're carrying more than a human system was ever designed to sustain without interruption, without ordering, without release. Even strength has its limits when it's asked to carry everything all the time. And no amount of willpower changes that. That's why so much common advice misses the mark. Just take a break, go on vacation, try to relax, practice gratitude. Those things aren't wrong. They're just incomplete. Rest without clarity doesn't restore direction. It only pauses the pressure. You come back to the same decisions, the same mental noise, the same internal weight, and now guilt gets layered on top because rest was supposed to fix it, and it didn't. What overloaded men need isn't less responsibility. It's clarity and direction inside that responsibility. Clarity reduces noise. Direction restores judgment. And together they give your effort somewhere specific to go. When clarity is present, discipline works with you again. But when clarity is absent, discipline turns into self-punishment. Most men were never taught how to regain clarity under that pressure. They were taught how to endure. And endurance without clarity eventually becomes exhaustion. Here's something most men don't hear. Clarity isn't something you think your way into. Overthinking is usually the problem, actually. Clarity comes when mental noise is interrupted, when attention is narrowed, when the system gets space to reorder itself. Sometimes that interruption comes through sound. Sometimes it comes through focus. Sometimes through structured attention, but rarely through more analysis. That's why what I do isn't therapy, and it's not motivation, although I am motivating, but it's more about helping men clear mental bandwidth so they can choose the direction they want instead of reacting to that pressure. I want to say that again because I think that matters. I help men clear mental bandwidth so they can choose direction instead of reacting to pressure. So if this is resonating, hear this clearly. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not a failure. You're operating beyond capacity. And overload isn't a verdict. It's a signal though. A signal that something needs to change in how you're carrying these things. Not that you need to carry more. If you're a man under pressure who wants clarity and direction, the link is below where to start. This work is called The Focus Journey. And in the next video, we'll talk about why most stress advice misses the mark with men entirely and what actually works instead. I'll see you there.